you hear the sound? Burning rubber on the ground. No mercy shown, no second place. In this league, there's no disgrace. If you're not first, you know the luck. But in the end, it sucks to suck. Feel the rush, adrenaline. Victory in our skin. Tighten the grip, hold the line. Defeat's the word we leave behind. Danger right with every turn, in every crack.
Good evening, race fans. Welcome to the Core GT series. This is season 16, round 7. Coming at you from virtual Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Yes, so one of the fastest ovals here in the U.S., but we're not on the oval tonight. It is the road course here. It is a 2.39 mile road course with rights and lefts, a few curbs that are notable that will pretty much kill the cars. So hope the drivers stay off of them tonight. Looks like 87 degrees today, so not too bad for a track temp. 84 outside, 29% humidity, so the car should be making some good power. Just a little bit of wind. Let's hop on in here and see who we got. It's out on track currently. Let's check in with your provisional pole leader. Here is Connor Wagner with a 124.350 currently, and Ricky Renner hot on his heels, just about 200ths of a second off. So those two should be trading some blows here tonight. Got a few people that have dropped into their respective divisions here tonight. As you can see on the timing tower there on the left, we have platinum, we have rookie, we have gold, we have silver, and we have bronze. So that is kind of what we got going on for that. Looking through here, so we got some McLarens looking like they're doing pretty good here tonight. Ferraris, I see Schwartz is in the BMW. Gross is in the Mustang. Let's see what else we got. Of course, Josh is in the Corvette. See Eric Langkamp in a Porsche. Looking down through the list, Aaron Reed is our sole Lambo here tonight. And shocker, we still do not have any takers for the... Oh wait, take that back. Pete JJ, that is a new one here that I have not seen. Did he hop in after I did the thing? Let's check here real quick and make sure he is in a division here. 29 drivers already in the list. Yep, I got JJ, and there's a rookie. So everybody should be in a division. Have one new driver here tonight. That is going to be Braxton Wood, according to Carl. So it looks like that is another one of the simraces.com guys. So got just a few of those here out on track with us tonight. There we go. Pulling that up. And while these guys are getting there on that, I want to check in on our Discord and see what exactly is going on. Let's see, where is the GT discussion? See who we're going to be missing here tonight. Oh, looks like the last thing is these guys talking about what how their starts have been going. And check in with Dave Tilford here in that neon. So I had a thought the other day. That car's like a tennis ball. Is it, or tennis ball is yellow, or are they green? Yeah, I thought I knew, and then I started thinking about it, and I'm really not sure, just like with that car. So hopefully that comes through on the broadcast and everything. Checking up. That is Mr. Nick Terrell doing a little bit of the donuts as through the little chicane there. Looking like Nicholas Menard now is taking the pole position off Connor with a 124.201. Looks like we got about a minute and a half for some of these guys to get their last laps in. Looks like Nick Terrell there has gotten his second, but maybe did not get a, well, that's right, I think we just do 2. Tilford getting just a little extra practice as he hopped in here late. And then, so yet the last person looks like that they have the ability to set a time. It's going to be Braxton Wood here. Excuse me for that. So this is one of those tracks. It's not on my top 10 list for sure of favorite tracks, but you know, there is history here. It's kind of like Monza in that, I mean, this layout to me is not really, but you know, it's weird because most ovals you go to, they don't run them counter to the normal direction. That being said, the braking down into turn 1 here, which is just before the normal turn 3 and 4, is interesting. You really have to sacrifice your entry and everything to get the proper exit through this little bit, because if you're not on the right line, it costs you a second. So it's one of those places you're not going to be wanting to run too wide. Looks like we got about another 10 seconds before I should get an official. Oh, it looks like we got one last person to hop in here. And that's, so it looks like Mr. Philip Adams is not going to have enough time to get his lap in. Oh, sorry, Philip. But we have our, oh, there we go. Here's your grid for tonight. Got Mr. Nicholas Menard starting in first. Connor Wagner will be starting in second. Ricky Renner in third. Dan Griffith in fourth. Ron Miriam in fifth. Jake Browning in sixth. Michael Schwartz in seventh. Nick Terrell in eighth. Josh Anderson in ninth. 10th is going to be Charles Adams. 11th will be Dave Tilford. Jack DeBruin will be starting in 12th. And do this. There we go. Josh Best starting in 13th. 14th is going to be Eric Langkamp. 15th is Zane Bierman. 16th is Stephen Wilcox. James Molyneux will be starting in 17th. Tyler Reed in 18th. Alex Jaspers in 19th. Randy Gross in 20th. Eric Martin starting in 21st. Aaron Reed in 22nd. Braxton Wood starting in 23rd. Hayden Deserick in 24th. 25th is going to be Michael Picone. 26th, Kerry Corcoran. 27th, Philip Adams. Jack Peterson.
Hey, welcome everyone. Didn't think I'd make it back tonight, but I'm here. So, going to do a couple announcements as usual. We're going to make sure we're easy on the pace lap and no incidents on the formation lap because that would be frustrating. So keep it smooth and make sure you get close to the car.
There we go. You don't need to hear the driver's meeting. That's not what you're here for. We'll get back to this. So we're going to do that, pop in here, and then, yeah, Hayden Desert was in 24th. We were to Jack Peterson starting in 28th back there. Alan Gullison in 29th. And Pete JJ in 30th. So that is your starting grid here tonight. And we'll try to see if I can't remember to swap between this overall view here and the group view. Although it looks like the group is going to be pretty good and get most of your drivers in there. But yeah, as you see the rookies being listed above the gold, that's because of Mr. Ryan Merriam qualifying in 6th, having a faster time, and then Nick Terrell, who is in 8th in gold overall. So you may see those divisions move around a little bit if one of the lower divisions gets a little bit of a better start. And we are going to hop on, not on board, but, oh, that's a very dirty track, and I'd be curious, but I don't think the computer is really loving that. With all these guys shifting back and forth with all the dust in the air. That's, I haven't quite seen that one out of iRacing recently. We're going to do, seems to be working a little better on the onboard. But we may be having to drop some settings here. Go through the cockpit cam there. But man, yeah, it is definitely a dirty track. So that first lap or two, as you can see in the rear view here, just all the dust that these cars are kicking up, they're off the track. So it's going to take a few laps to get it rubbered in and get you up to full grip. So we may have a few mistakes here as these guys launch into their first few laps. It's on board with Michael Schwartz there, kind of look at some of the field. Not sure if that was jerky or just all the cars messing with my head. Maybe the camera doing some weird things there. But as come on back there. So yeah, we have the two Lamborghinis, that one and then Aaron Reed there and that one. These guys are coming over here. This is, get to my cameras here. We have this one at the start finish line. You'll see him come through there. And this is them coming through the turn 12. So interesting, we did not have a ability to, I believe, here to do a short pit or a short pace lap. So guys have a little bit of chance to either gain or lose some things here, but we will watch as Barney is going to wave the green flag and set these guys off on their race here tonight of 1 hour. There you go, everybody getting a good launch off there as they head down here into turn 1. Getting a few little hitches there. That will clear up as soon as we can bust these guys out of here. This is your turn 2 complex. Yeah, they go through turn 4. And this is the chicane here. And they'll be coming down here. You see this front pack already kind of single filing out. Somebody going a little wide there. And this down through turn 9 here. This will be turn 10. You see a little bit of action there. As they again swing back out here to turn 12. That's looking a little better on the frame rate already. Turn 13, I guess the heat haze. Not too kind here. And turn 14. Guess we will look and see who's got the close one. Looks like Nicholas is out to a little bit of a lead there. But definitely a little bit of action going on. Dan Griffith is going to look to be trying to get around Ricky Renner here down into 1. Yeah, this is, I am not quite sure. This is pretty bad on the frame drops. We're going to have to, I hate doing this stuff. Seems to be up in there a little bit. Well, actually, Alright. Looking like Nick Terrell here has a slowdown. There we go. Starting to level all back out. Okay. Yep, I have to drop that heat haze out apparently. And looking like got a little bit of some action going on here. Zane Bierman trying to get around Stephen Wilcox and Jack DeBruin there. But showing what happened. Showing a crash here for Jake Browning. What happened to Jake? How did we miss this one here? Oh, just kind of... Oh! Just in the middle of everything there. That's not where you want to be. Check back in here. Showing one for Randy Gross back here. Is he going to be one of the cars that touched? Oh, there was a lot more back there. And that showing a crash here for Alan Gullison. What happened to Alan? Oh, that's just a speed thing there. Alright, well, we're going to go back live here. There. Check back in with our leader up here. About 0.6 of a second. There we go. Got to show you what that is. We can hop on board here with Connor Wagner and kind of show you what it's looking like from the second place's perspective here. There we go. Let's go a little further back, looking like, yeah, this is Charles Adams going to try to maybe make a move here on Josh Anderson. And that sun is bright. Kind of be racing into the night here. An hour shouldn't be enough, but the sun will definitely be much lower in another 56 or 54 minutes. There we go. Eric Langkamp and Josh Betts with Tyler Reed right there on their bumper. Trying to find some of these camera views. Crazy, everything was fine at about 60 FPS, pretty solid during practice. Not sure exactly what has changed. I had a bunch of dropped frames there for a second. Keep an eye on that count there. But we got a little bit of a battle here between Stephen Wilcox and Zane Bierman. Zane ahead of a few silver drivers here tonight. But the championship battle will be between him here and Eric Martin, about 3 spots back. There's Eric. So it's not a big gap. Definitely one we're going to try to keep an eye on here tonight. So looks like Adams was thinking about going in there. Seems to be. So it looks like Charles trying to size up a way around Chase here. But there you go. So you're going to stick the nose out and try to go on the inside here. Jump in here, just gonna go to the outside here. And just gonna pretty much send it around. That was Jack Peterson getting by as well. Jack running the 9 Cat Ferrari. Oh, that's funny. Jack's going to be taking a look to the inside of that Mustang there into turn 1, it looks like. It's like keeping these cameras a little tighter might be. Well, getting something a little weird here. There we go. Get rid of a few more processes running in the background there. See if that helps. Seems that it may have. All right. Now, looking like the battle here between Ricky Renner and Dan Griffin. Just Dan not letting go of the back of that McLaren. Nicholas and Dan have been running the Ferrari all season. Ricky really likes that McLaren. We know right now the Ferrari might be a slightly more meta choice than the McLaren, but they're fairly evenly stacked. But yeah, so far your biggest gainer here is going to be Jack Peterson in the 212 9 Cat Ferrari. Generally followed in here by Alan Gullison. Alan not making his way through the field nearly as quickly as Jack. Only up 10 positions after the opening lap slow up he would have received. Let's see here. And this is Stephen Wilcox and Eric Martin. Eric looking to catch up to Zane Bierman ahead. You know, at this current rate, we'll have to check with Dave there, but two drivers in bronze. I don't know where. We may have to be redrawing some lines. That silver division is starting to look a little stacked. So for next season, oh, that is Alex Jasper showing a yellow flag. That should be a slowdown. Then he's going to have to serve here at some point. Yet you see kind of taking it a little slow into that one to get that to clear away. At Kerry Corcoran in the Stars and Stripes Porsche there. So, but this is definitely one of those tracks you have to know your lines. Another one that I saw that started at the back that I know had some pace was Philip Adams. Let me find him. Where has he made his way up to? It is going to be in 21st overall currently. We can swap over here to kind of show you where everybody stacks up overall. So there's that. And Philip coming up to the back of Eric Martin there. But Zane Bierman has made his way up to 14th. Nick Terrell, after his early issue, has made his way back up to 15th overall. All right, and that is Nick Terrell into the pits early. This may be a 2-stop race, or maybe Nick has a little bit of damage. But Nick, one that we have seen work a fuel strategy to success before, so something to keep an eye on. But looking back up here at your top 4, your 4 platinum drivers, 6 tenths, 5 tenths, 4 tenths. There is not a big gap between any of these people here. And then you see Ryan just not quite able to hold on to the back of him. Michael Schwartz now has a rear windscreen full of Jack Peterson here. Well, I won't call it full yet. He is 2 seconds back, but he's closing in about 3 or 4 tenths of a lap. We can actually pull up some lap time stuff here. You can see Peterson taking about 2 tenths of a lap out now that he has gotten up to the back of Schwartz there. And look up here at the front, you can see they're kind of just trading off lap times back and forth. You look at Ricky Renner and Connor Wagner, you know, gain 0.02, lose 0.2, gain for a few laps. So this will be interesting to see where they come out here, especially in the pits, you know, is if Ricky's able to stay inside that window and save some fuel, or if Dan's able to save some fuel. Nicholas Menard having the fastest lap so far with a 124.08. And that was a last lap. So we are now 10 laps into this. The tires are going to be warm. So it will be interesting to see how these guys play the fuel game. Going back through here, but yeah, really this kind of a little battle here between Aaron Reed, Eric Martin, Alex Jaspers, Phillip Adams, Kerry, and Alan Gullison. They're all within about a second of each other. Hop on board here and see if, you know, we know Phillip Adams has some pace, not getting a qualifying lap in. See if he's got a way around him. That was Dave Tilford there. Oh, SDK got stuck there. What happened? Okay. Let's watch and see what happened to Dave Tilford going off track. Oh, just loses the back end. Does it keep it off the wall? I don't think so. Nope. Little ding there, but honestly, that front splitter, well, I was about to say it looks good, but I think it is, in fact, turned up with a little Texas grin. Yep. Yeah, he's got the got the brim of that splitter curled up in the middle there. All right, let's check in. So this is going to be Aaron Reed in front, Alex Jaspers, and Phillip Adams. Now, I know at Daytona that Lambo was very fast in a straight line. Adams not making any huge lunges or anything, maybe just trying to bide his time and play a little fuel game. And then Gullison going to be looking for a way around Kerry Corcoran here soon, it appears. Looking like fastest of the lap. He's got him by a little bit, but 9/10 out of that last lap. It's going to be a braking battle down here at the end of the straight. Kerry taking the defensive line on the inside, but if you send it around the outside and you can hold it, you have the inside for the next one. And then back to the outside again, and it's going to be back to the inside again. So really a four-way swap there as to who has the inside win. But with your last two being, you know, if you take the Gullison route there, you get it. Kerry going to try to look to the inside, making a little contact. Allen getting back on track, only losing 3 spots there. Easy peasy packet balls. Let me double check and see if it's still doing it. Oh, come on, YouTube. Well, it appears to be fine. I believe Easy peasy, that was just there at the beginning. Let me know if it's still coming through on your end that way. Alright, let's check back in here. Still got this battle between Reed, Jaspers, and Adams. Checking back up front here. Okay. Oh. Oh, you were kicked from the race. Oh, I'm sorry. That was. Oh, that's interesting. That would be Hayden, then I'm guessing, is the one that's in the pits for the last 6 minutes so far. SDK doesn't tell me if you get packet loss, though, apparently. Showing a crash here for Pete. What happened to him? Did the Lambo do Lambo things with its rear diff in a slide you can't quite save? Yeah, that's what that looks like to me. Pete deciding to just jump to the pits there. So we jump back with Nicholas Menard there. Still has Connor there. But Ricky apparently had an incident or something, it appears. See what happened here is Dan just getting to the inside of Ricky there. Now Ricky has the inside, Dan has the outside. Ricky gonna have the inside again. Oh, Ricky went a little too inside, and I think he got the slowdown that he is gonna have to. Yep, you can see him having to back off there. That's not what you want to see. Go back along. But Ricky has caught back up to the back of Dan there after having a little bit of a gap. Let's see. Showing, starting to get some cars pitting here. Let's pull up our pit strategy. You can see your top 13 here. None of them have pitted, so let's put that away. Looks like we get guys here a little further back. That is Eric Martin had to pit. Did we have... What caused Eric Martin to go in the pits here? Oh! That's not good there. Little touch on the braking zone from the Mustang. Look back through our list here. Jake Browning is running around in 23rd right now after being much higher. Already made his pit stop. Well, made a pit stop on lap 1 for 4.32 seconds. So he'll run a little longer and then we'll see him come in. Might, you know, in the end may come out all right to him. He might be able to fuel save and make something happen. But one to keep an eye on for sure. Still got this battle between Reed, Jaspers, Adams, and now Telford here. Telford nursing that bent splitter along there, as you can see. Philip Adams thinking about trying to go around the outside of Jaspers here. That's an interesting spot to try to make the pass. I mean, you do get the inside here, kinda, but two cars right there. As you can see, it's a tight squeeze. It's kind of like the little chicane at Barber's. There's a fast line. There's room for two cars, but it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you big by the time you look at the end of, you know, your lap time there. It's not a place you want to go. Looks like we have Jack Peterson and our leader, Nicholas Menard, coming in to the pits here. So they made it Mercedes right at 16 laps on their fuel. So Menard not having the draft off anyone. Maybe having to pay a little bit of a price. As you can see, the absolute clobbering that Ferrari takes going over the curbs like that. Jump over here if this thing will quit moving. Eric Langkamp having an issue here. What happened to Eric in that Porsche? Oh, Porsche did Porsche things. Rear engine, a lot of weight. It's a pendulum. So never what you want to deal with when that Porsche wants to unload and lose the back end. Be interesting to see his race review tomorrow after this race. That was cool to see last time. And we have a chunk of guys in here. That is Charles Adams, Tyler Reed, Zane Beardman. Zane now having a big old gap over Eric Martin after Eric's unfortunate incident. We're 24 minutes into this race with about 25 left to go. Your biggest gainer now is Philip Adams, running in 7th place, up 20 positions. However, Philip has not pitted yet. Neither has Dave. But these guys stretching it out one lap over our leaders that are now in the pits: Connor and Ricky and Dan, Ryan. So it will be interesting to see here as to who's going to make it out. We're going to hop on board with Menard here, and he looks, so you got this little divorced entry. Wagner just splitting and coming out, and Dan Nicholas just sliding in front of Dan. Looking at their pit time, 17.45 in the pit box for Connor Wagner, 17.67 for Menard, about 0.2 of a second. And when you look at the gap, that's what it is. That's the gap that puts you out ahead. That's the margins these drivers are dealing with. You know, 0.2 of a second in your pit stop. That's, do you take an extra liter, extra gallon of fuel? It depends on what, you know, where you're from as to what system you're using, or, you know, did you park 4 inches to the left, 4 inches to the right of a perfect ideal spot? But that is Ricky Renner with taking a little longer in his pit stop. He was at 18.02. But now Dan Griffin, 14.53. So I'm wondering if Dan short fueled the car, or because he was behind Ricky for so long, was he just saving fuel, allowing him to jump and catch the back of the pack that had kind of pulled away from Ricky there just a little bit. And going down into turn 1, Nicholas going to make a move on Connor there. Connor not going to fight it very much. You know, but if they're pitting before 30 minutes, I mean, we had an entire pace lap. That'll cost them a little bit, but stretching out to not stop again is not going to be an easy one for these guys here tonight. Looking back through our thing here, check in. Got Randy Gross here making a slow and steady progress, it looks like, over the last few laps on Braxton Wood. A new rookie here to core. Looking like we got a little bit of a three-way battle here between Stephen Wilcox, Eric Langkamp, and Philip Adams. And matter of fact, I almost forgot. That's going to bring the track map up for you. You can kind of see halfway in this race, they are spread all over the track. Yeah, but looking down through the list, we do have drivers with I ratings as high as 6,800 here, and as low as, it's like 1039 is the lowest. And shockingly enough, the 1039 is not in last place. He is in midfield. Don't want to call anybody out for what they have and why, but just proof here, we go by the core rating. You'd have to ask David Tilford to explain all the things, but he has a speed metric and how you qualify and how you finish, and it stacks you up against all the other drivers in core that have come before or currently running. So it's kind of like iRating, but it's all here within our own league, so you don't real hard to sandbag it the way David has it done, so we do appreciate that. And that's what places these guys in these divisions. We'll pull the divisions back up here, and you can see, you know, in our Platinum division, you have Menard, Wagner, Griffin, Renner, Schwartz, and Browning. And generally, you're going to find your Platinum drivers, you know, that's your top 6, with the exception of Ryan Merriam, who is sitting in 5th, but Ryan is a rookie and will soon enough wind up in Platinum if he is beating the like of Schwartz and Tilford currently. So, but we can look over, as you can see the rookie division there. Those are, oh, that was, that is a little bit of a slide for James Molyneux. And as he comes back on, oh, clips Philip Adams, and Adams losing the front end. And then Adams having his own issues as off track here. Oh, that's because he took to the ground. Oh, looks like Adams got his rear bumper back, although I would have imagined that would have been a missing front bumper. Some iRacing wonky netcode physics back at work here. But as we turn back, let's check. Still got this battle here between Philip Adams, Stephen Wilcox, and Dave Tilford. So now that Tilford, I assume, has taken his fast repair to fix that front end, it still kind of looks turned up a little bit, but he is going to be making a move down to the inside of Wilcox. Can he make it stick? Oh yeah, he has it in spades there. Need to narrow that up slightly. Timing tower is a little intrusive. I don't think I have a ticker in this one. Nope, we do not. But at your top there we go. We can show the leader of each division at the top there. And even show you their best times. And as you expect, as you go down the divisions, the times fall just a little bit, with the exception of rookies. But like I said, you got to run 5 races with us to make the formulas work and drop you in your correct spot to be. Hide that back away. Let's see here. Philip Adams going to be making the look of a move around Eric Langenkamp there. Gets that one done and dusted. It looks like it's going to be Tilford now trying. Oh, thought about trying to get a move on the inside there. Had the door slammed in his face, backed out of it. Good job, and quick reactions out of Dave Tilford. Thank you, David, for not making me do more admin work. Let's see here. Let's go back through, and shocker at the front, these 3 are still within a second of each other. And with that long front straight, Ricky Renner running in 4th, not having a dance partner for the draft, is just dropping back, losing about a half a second or so on these guys every lap. That's what the draft is worth here tonight. It'll also be interesting to see what that may cost him on fuel burn. Come back through here. Haven't checked into Tyler Reed very much here. Running one of the few Corvettes. I say that and we get multiple Corvettes. And there is James Molyneux in front of him in the Mustang. You see James trying to drag dirt all back onto the track here. Oh, sorry, that's not James. That is Charles Adams. Where did James go? James is... Okay, so James and Charles were running the same paint scheme. My apologies. I did not realize that. Who else have we not checked in with here in a little while? See Aaron Reed still running in the Lambo there. And 21st overall. It's a good job out of him. There we go. Jack Peterson. He has your biggest gain here in that 9 Cat Ferrari. Running in 7th. First in gold. Has a 2-second gap to Schwartz in 6th ahead of him. Peterson looks like he's lapping about a 1/10.5 faster than Schwartz. So we'll have to, let's pull up the time in Delta. You can kind of see at lap 20. Oh wait, no. We have to be in Schwartz to get this one. Yep. At lap 18, that gap was 3.3. It is now down to 1.9. So you can see the chunks he is taking out. So, you know, over the course of 5 laps or so, it looks like he's taking a little over a second there out of him. So, yeah. W1, another 10 laps to go. We will keep an eye. His lap time tonight ran at 124, 125. So, it's got a little time, but that's going to put Schwartz within his ability to maybe catch up there. There we go. And speaking of Molyneux and that red, white, and blue Ford, he has Langkamp and Tilford right ahead of him. Let's see, looks like we look at the left front there, and I'm going to do something I rarely get the chance to do. If we look at Charles Adams here, you should see, yep, you can actually see the damage for once, even with the same, those are not the same drivers, but that's right there is from that earlier impact. Showing Hayden got a meatball. So we'll have to go to another camera there. There we go. That is Schwartz. Let's see. Yeah. Check in with our series sponsor here, Mr. Josh Anderson in the Chase Decals Corvette there. Just want to give a quick shout out to Josh and Chase for helping us out and sponsoring this. If you're needing commercial vehicle graphics, check out Chase Decals. They specialize in vehicle wraps, fleet vehicle graphics, emergency vehicles, and interior graphics wraps and graphics that stick to your business. Visit chasedecals.com to learn more. So, appreciate him finally getting me that, and we do appreciate him taking care of the broadcast and some of the prize pot and sponsoring this series. Looking back through here, it looks like nobody's really making any huge inroads. There's Jake Browning trying to make a little bit of a recovery drive after the early issues. I'm guessing he's nursing some sort of persistent damage, just not having the pace that he had during qualifying at all. And we give a shout out while we're doing this to Backbone Candle Company, another one of our series sponsors. Just a small candle company made by a tough mom, strong family, and a new dream. Check them out on Instagram, whatnot, Facebook, and TikTok. We do appreciate y'all. And we'll go ahead and take a minute and get the last one done here. It is Kim's Cups and More, your one-stop shop for all your apparel needs. Whatever your pleasure, Kim's Cups and More has it all. Check them out on Facebook today. That's Kim's Cups with a K and More. So, we do appreciate them and their sponsorship as well. So I'm gonna grab something to drink since I'm here by myself. Gonna run a quick little love to hear it, and we will be right back. All right, little love to hear it. Yeah. That was a nice little pass there by James Molyneux. The camera looking like it went inside of Eric's Porsche there for just a moment. Yeah, Barry saying he'd like to see Ricky Renner get the win tonight, and well, curb there, Ricky. But 4 seconds gap to Menard there. Don't think that's going to be enough. But I do see Connor able to pull a 2-second gap out over Nicholas there. Now, looking like since Nicholas stopped at 16, common sense would dictate that he would need to come back in at 32. 41 minutes, a minute and a half a lap. We're going to have a 30-second lap, so I think we're going to have a 36th as well. So definitely these guys will be coming back in to the pits. So interesting to see if this last pit stop will bring them a little closer, but you can kind of see there was the gap to Ricky Renner. And then you can see Ron Merriam still back behind him there. And then you got a nice big gap to Schwartz, where the camera had to change to get him. But Schwartz getting that gap now, opening it up to 5.18 seconds over Peterson. So it looks like, oh, I was looking at their best lap times earlier, but yeah. Looks like, let's see here. Yep, you can see something on lap 27. He had the gap down to under a second there. What? Oh yeah, what happened to... So Dan Griffith came into pit lane. Let's see. Trying to see what's this pit strategy looking like. So yeah, Dan pitted on 17 with the others. Did 10 laps and coming back out. I mean, it's less than 20 minutes, so yeah, he can do that. He would have the ability to put enough fuel in it. Looks like he's putting 14.18 for that pit stop, and I'm starting to see some of the guys here towards the back. They're coming in this lap, so we should see the leaders coming in pretty soon as well. So Dan, I wonder, trying to do the little short pit, hoping maybe to make something happen, not being stuck behind Nicholas there, although right in front of him he's got a little bit of a battle between Tyler Reed and Charles Adams. That Mustang is all over the back window of that Corvette going into the braking zone there. So this is the kind of thing this will make or break Dan's race here, is how fast can he get around Tyler and Charles here. You can see he is literally hopping up the one side of the curb and down the other, almost timing that perfectly. So quite the thing, and you can see he's going to take the inside here and transfer that to the outside, and already has it done. Didn't need to be side by side for all of them. Got it done in 2 corners there. Yeah. And this is one of those things he's going to, almost he would prefer to be able to close right up to the back of Reed, get right within that draft window by the time he hits a straightaway, and capitalize on that draft. Last lap doing a 124.36. Connor Wagner in the lead doing a 124.36 as well. See what Dan manages across the line this time, even with that pass. 125.2. So yeah, having to pass these guys is adding a little time. It will be interesting to see, but that's the same time Ricky had last lap as well. That is Charles Adams into the pits there. So pit strategy definitely on the list of things to look out for and try to help Connor Wagner in this lap. Nicholas Menard stretching it out an extra. Gonna see if he can make some headway, make a little in Formula One with Lewis at Mercedes. Bono called it hammer time. See if Nicholas has the ability to drop the hammer and maybe open up some sort of gap, have a special in lap, and cut down on Connor's lead there. So we'll have to catch them when they are coming out of the pits here soon. The gap between Ricky and Nicholas is now 5.39 seconds. So Connor in the pits, stationary. Dan coming around that final corner here. Wagner is moving. And will come out there. Yeah. So Connor with a, let's let this thing settle down here for a second. 8.4, 8.3 second lead over Dan Griffin. So that in the closing 12 and a half minutes or so, that would be a very impressive ass to take down. I mean, to do that and be there to pass, you're going to have to be sucking down almost a second on Connor. Connor only taking 9.38 seconds in the pit lane. That's a little shorter than I'm seeing just about anybody else. So I have to wonder how much fuel has that McLaren been able to save. So Nicholas Menard going yet another lap. So he made it 16 the first time, and I believe if we pull the pit strategy up, yep, that's 17 so far. We know 17's possible. but I don't think the remaining extra bit, this is going to be a 2-stop race. Nobody should be able to one-stop this one. Can give you an idea of the speed that they're going around these corners as we ride along here with, let's hop in and see Nicholas's point of view. 130 something miles an hour before the sun fills the windscreen, taking away a lot of braking markers. So that is going to be one of those. Yep, and you can see he is in the pits now. Kind of an interesting pit entry. Ooh. You can see that is, I believe, James Molyneux in front of him. Yep. So James just on the lead lap currently, but after the pit stop, he will be next up on the chopping block. That is Ricky Renner and Ryan Merriman, and also Michael Schwartz. Peterson. Did Peterson run out of fuel? Oh no, the Nyan Cat Ferrari appears to be out of fuel, but does he have enough to coast it back? And how much is that going to cost Peterson? He has an 11-second gap to Dan, but Dan's already pitted. Philip Adams has not, and that's a, currently says 28-second thing, but if he has to tow, what's that cost him? I mean, he's in pit lane, so it's going to be a short tow. But if it's a minute, that's going to drop him like a rock through the field. But there you go, Connor Wagner coming out with a 4-second lead over Nicholas Menard, but right there behind Kerry Corcoran in one of the parts where you're really going to want a good launch down the straightaway. But like I said, almost a 5-second gap. He's got a little bit of time he can give up here and there and still coming out smelling like roses. Now, that is a 3.9-second gap between Nicholas and Dan. They came into, when they came into the pits, they were almost nose to tail. So Dan getting held up in traffic, looking like that may have cost him just a little bit of time there. Ricky's got that gap down to 2.4 to Dan, so slowly making his way back up. There's Dave Tilford in for his second pit, showing James Molyneux with a black flag. I've got a feeling that's going to be a speeding in the pit lane, so he will have to come in and serve that one. Never a fun or a good one to have to deal with. Sorry, if I can hear somebody is attempting to text me, my phone is going crazy. But not important. Let's see here. Zane Bierman, up 2 spots from his starting spot, has made his second stop. So we have a bronze driver running in 13th. Ahead of all of the silver drivers except for 2 being Charles Adams and Tyler Reed. So one heck of a good drive out of Zane here tonight. It has Josh Anderson on his tail though. So with Zane's performances here towards the end of the season, I am expecting we will probably see Zane in silver next season as well. Looking like he is very close to having the ability to challenge some of the upper silver drivers. So it is good to see these drivers growing and getting better with just about every race we do here in Core. That is one of the things I do enjoy is, yeah, these drivers will ask for help, and we will see, you know, what everybody can do to try to help. Everyone's very nice in that aspect, but we have Dave Tilford getting around Charles Adams there, but Charles is right on his tail. See if there's a little comeback here, having this drag race down the straightaway. But there is Jake Browning after his early incident, managing to make his way back up. Jake's had to stop 3 times tonight in the pits. The pits being on the fastest part of the track, that is going to obviously have set him back a good little bit. Probably at least, I would say, 40 seconds. If we look 40 seconds ahead, that would put him right around, running somewhere around 6th with Michael Schwartz and Nick Terrell in 6 spots from where, yep, that would be about where he qualified. So, hard thing to take, but as you can see, the sun is setting, getting that nice reddish glow here, putting parts of the track almost in the dark. And let's find some. I think it'll be Jasper should be a good one. Yeah, and you can see here what how the sun is there. Oh no, he's not early enough. Oh nope, the sun has gone down behind the grandstands finally, so that's becoming easier and easier for them. Oh, what is that? That is the 241. Who is that? That was Eric Martin. It looked like the car was on fire, but just a reflection of the sun off the ground there. Yep, looking at this race, looking like Connor has this one pretty well in hand. 5-second gap over Nicholas. So unless Connor winds up running an extra lap and has to do some massive fuel savings, I'm not seeing Nicholas having a huge ability to close that gap up. That is Ricky Renner in the 4th there. Ryan Merriam, our highest rookie here tonight. Trying to see where Jack Peterson, after having that issue, dropped him back to 15th. And he was running right there, so he was closer to Schwartz than he was thinking. That cost him almost a minute running that little bit short on fuel. That is so painful. Yeah. Jack, you might want to dial in another 0.2, 0.3 to your fuel lap calculator there. Yeah, just get a little extra. It won't cost you too much. But James Molina, I'm still showing with a black flag in SDK. I'm not 100% sure, but it's been for a few laps now. If he continues to ignore it, it will I want to say it disconnects you from the race. Thought you had 3 laps of silver black. Something to keep an eye on and see what the post-race happens with that. Looking back through here for battles, and really it's this one right here between Tilford, Adams, and Jake. These 3 have been running around each other for a little while now. That Ferrari looking like it's able to stretch its legs a little. Yeah, you saw in the background, that was Zane Bierman flashing Anderson going down the straightaway there. So not too often you see bronze drivers flashing the silvers. Oh. Oh, no. Oh, but they keep it going. That could have been so bad. If you spin off the nose to the left or right there, you're going to clip one of those walls very hard, as we have seen a few drivers have happen to them here tonight. Dave Telford being one of those, Eric Martin being another. So very lucky to come away with what appears to be no severe damage to either car. Yeah, you're going to hate losing a second, but there are multiple races where I tell you I would love to have that 1 second penalty rather than a smashed car that you have to try to limp back to the pits. Another little bit of a battle here between Jaspers and Michael Picone. This is going to be for 4th and 5th in your silver division here. Is that going to be, is he going to look to the inside? He is. You got to be careful. If you clip that turtle there on the inside, it will send the car flying. It is very painful in the, sorry, I wanted to say McLaren, but no. I've done that in the Mercedes. I think there's a broadcast of Jimmy and Carl from quite a few seasons ago, and it looked like I was doing a drag strip wheelie. It was, I just saw sky. Showing Phillips Adams having a slowdown here. So it gets that cleared away. But 7-second gap from him back to Tilford. And 1.8 seconds back to Jake there. And Charles another 1.5. So that close battle is now gone. Another slowdown I'm showing for Josh Anderson there. And having Zane Bierman right behind him. Yeah, Josh is going to have to get that cleared. As you can see, he's letting the leader by there. And there's the time penalty loss. And yeah, it's almost one of those, you almost want to get rid of that penalty a little bit before you get on there. Because even after serving it, that's given Zane the ability to get into that draft range at 6/10 down now. So definitely as we get to the closing lap here, I believe, let me go on to Connor, make sure we're, yep, we are live. So I'm going to find my thing and see. Start finish line. Yep, that was the white flag. So we are on the white flag lap here. Last lap. Connor Wagner gonna, looks like he's handily gonna take this win home here. You can see still a 2-second gap between Nicholas and Dan there. Almost 10 seconds back to Ricky Renner. That's just shows you what losing that draft does. And part of it's demoralizing too. Once you lose the side of the guy in front of you, it really just kind of hits home that they're pulling away and there's nothing you can do about it. Yeah, so Ricky very possibly backing off a little, knowing he's got a big gap Ryan behind him. Looking through here though, that is, everybody has managed to not be within a second of each other for passes here at the end. And that is Connor Wagner taking home your win here tonight. Nicholas Menard coming in second. Dan Griffith in third. Ricky Renner coming home in fourth. There we go. You can see him coming on through there. That will be Ryan Merriam. And there will be Schwartz taking this one home. Next one will be Nick Terrell. As we wait on our results to finish up here, we go ahead and ping everyone. Try to get them in here. Well, I don't see that one. We get this one. Griffin. Lives with those two. Nick Terrell. What we got? Let's get over here for this. And find somebody still out here on track real quick. And so, which there's your silver winner, Tyler. I can type Tyler Reed. There's your silver. Your bronze is going to be Zane Bierman. All right. So let's pull our results up here. Connor Wagner taking home your win tonight. Nicholas Menard in second. Dan Griffith in third. Ricky Renner coming in fourth. Ryan Merriam in fifth. Michael Schwartz in sixth. Nick Terrell in seventh. Eighth is going to be Tyler Reed. Ninth, Philip Adams. 10th, Dave Tilford. Jake Browning in 11th. Charles Adams in 12th. Josh Anderson in 13th. Zane Bierman in 14th. Jack Peterson in 15th. Michael Picone in 16th. Alex Jaspers in 17th. Eric Langkamp in 18th. Aaron Reed in 19th. 20th is going to be Randy Gross. 21st, Kerry Corker and Stephen Wilcox in 22nd. 23rd, Braxton Wood. Alan Gullison in 24th. James Molyneux in 25th. Eric Martin in 26th. Jack DeBruin in 27th. Pete in 28th. Hayden Desert in 29th. Josh Betts in 30th. All right, let's see. Who do we have in the thing here? We have... I'm going to pull Zane in here. Just going to... Let's see. We'll do this. And then this. And then this. Boom. Now we can pull Zane in. Zane, this is John in the booth. Get a copy. Yeah. Bronze division looked a little slim tonight. Just you and Eric running in it. But, looks like you did what you needed to do. And, yeah, you beat a lot of the silver drivers as well here tonight. Yeah, congratulations to him for that. I was saying, yeah, congratulations to William Burrell for the grandkids. I forgot that we had done that, but yeah, definitely saw you knocking on the back door of Josh Anderson there a few times. So you give him the flashing lights once or twice. Well, you have to double check with David, but if you keep putting in performances like that, I got a feeling we're going to be seeing you in silver next year. Yeah. Anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 55 Corvette before we let you go celebrate? Well, congratulations, and hopefully we can catch you again next week. All right. That was your bronze winner, Zane Bierman. We're going to pull, make sure I get this right. Yep, Tyler Reed in here. Tyler, this is John in the booth. You get a copy. So, another Corvette taking another division win here. So, Corvette, I didn't think was normally a good popular choice, but you seem to be making it work for you. The sound's off. That's my biggest gripe. Yeah, I know in real life that thing wails, and it just sounds like a vacuum cleaner. It'd be nice if iRacing would listen occasionally, but didn't see you have too much drama here tonight. You kind of just kept your head down and did what you needed to do to come home with the silver win here tonight. Yeah, it looks like you're showing that you had 3 pit stops. I guess you had a little damage early on. You had to get taken care of. That's always painful, knowing that you had to take an extra pit stop and where you could have been. But oof, excuse me. I think next week we're headed to, is it Red Bull Ring? Is that on your list of good tracks or? Yeah. Well, anybody you want to give a shout out to on that number 47 machine? Not a problem. Y'all give me enough good racing that it's really it's enjoyable. So I appreciate it. But hopefully we can catch you next week. Hey, that was your silver division winner. Now we're gonna bring the gold in here, who's actually there. Sorry, SDK is doing some weird stuff on the driver detail. Nick, this is John in the booth. You got a copy. So, yeah, coming home with a gold win here tonight. Gold division was a little on the lighter side. I know it looks like Peterson ran out of fuel and kind of handed that one to you there. Yeah, I think his car was running out, coming like right into the pit lane, and you do have to slow down a good bit for the pit lane entry. And I think it took him about a minute or so to limp it in and get fuel and get back out. Yeah, that's one of those things I was talking with David not too long ago. But what was it? Last season you were in platinum, and you know, it's one of those things that it's always changing. We kind of have to slide the scales around a little bit here and there to make it fair and even. And it's. I mean, we have some bronze drivers that are faster than some of the silvers, and it looks like the 3 gold drivers finished ahead of 2 platinums. So Yeah, that's definitely on our list of, it's good to see you back in the booth here, but definitely, miss seeing the Spaceballs BMW. But
I don't miss driving it though.
I don't blame you one bit.
I like it at Nürburgring. I like it at maybe Le Mans. Like it's all right there. It has some good top end and good fuel economy, but yeah. And I was like, man, I'm gonna stick it out. I'm not even gonna do the crazy week, silly week thing. I'm gonna stick out what my first choice was and just see where it ends
Yeah,
up.
the
And
Ferrari's a
went with
solid
the
car.
Ferrari
It's
this
kind of
season.
like the McLaren.
Oh yeah,
They,
yeah. I like the McLaren too. But yeah,
they don't have
I read
any
McLaren
major
early.
disadvantages.
No. Yeah, especially this season. Yeah, I mean, if you look at the top, what 6 or 8, you have like one Beamer up there in the top 8 or so. So yeah,
Yeah, Schwartz is
they're good
dedicated to that BMW. He's
Yeah,
the
we had
one
a
that
good
should be
little
running this Spaceballs paint, honestly.
yeah, we
Without
had a
mind
good
saying
little
Aston.
battle early. He gave me props on a good pass, and then I proceeded to spin it a little bit later. So I couldn't string anything together. I'm kind of glad they don't do the safety thing this season because I'm not really representing my good track record as much as I would have liked with that 7X. It's pretty ugly, but didn't hit anybody significantly or anything like that. So the first lap one, turn one stuff was just a little awkward, but apologies to Jake if we kind of got into each other a little bit there. And then I don't think it was too crazy. It was just I was just kind of following that car that didn't allow him over in front of me. And yeah, steward. I'm actually going to record some telemetry in case I need to share it with y'all too. I was trying to do my part to stick to the dude on the right and not cause that. So we'll see how it goes.
Well, all right. Yeah, that's already see Carl and David and Josh down there in admin, so they'll be starting. But we appreciate it. And anybody you want to give a shout out to on that Ferrari before we let you go?
Oh man, of course you all for keeping this consistent league going, super competitive. It's only getting more competitive apparently. It's getting tough out there. My wife, she's wonderful. She's we have a good balance. I'm getting ready to go make some Thai food with her after this. We're gonna make a couple days worth of some drunken noodles and have a late dinner. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that too. Looking forward to watching the broadcast tomorrow. Thanks again.
All right. Well, congratulations, and we'll catch you next week, hopefully.
See you.
That was Nicholas Terrell, your gold winner. Going to pull in third place, Dan Griffin here. Looks like, yep, SDK is not updating from Zane Bierman's thing, and we do apologize, but this Dan, you got the copy.
Yeah, I'm here.
So saw you try to come in, maybe do a little bit of an undercut there at the end. I'm guessing, judging by what I saw, the gaps come out to getting caught up in traffic a little bit and not able to really put in some hot laps.
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't work out too bad, I guess. I came out ahead of Ricky, so that was kind of the end goal, and I don't think I had pace for Connor anyways. So
yeah, it looks like Nick did neither at the end there.
Yeah.
I kept swapping back, and it's like every once in a while you'd see just a big chunk. I wasn't sure if Nick was having issues or if Connor just had the hammer down.
Yeah, I don't know. Like maybe some of both. So yeah, I don't know. All in all, not too bad for a points race for me. So I'll take it.
Yeah, I know next week we are headed to Red Bull Ring. Is that on your list of a better track for you than this one, or?
It's not, but I think it's a better track for the Ferrari. So I will absolutely try to take full advantage of it.
Yeah, the Ferrari does pretty well in the sweeping transition corners.
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty stable.
Yeah.
So, anybody you want to give a shout out to on that 101 machine before we let you go?
Yeah, just 100 Porsche guys, John, Nick, Casey. Yep, thanks for the support. So, see you all next week.
All right, we'll catch you later. That was Dan Griffith. You're in third place. We're going to bring our second place. Oh, that's the wrong one. If it'll play nice, there we go. Nick, this is John in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going tonight?
Oh, it's going pretty good. saw you and Connor swapping the lead back and forth there. He just came out ahead of you in that first pit stop. But after that, it looked like he kind of dropped the hammer and started pulling away.
Yeah, as soon as he went a lap longer, those dang McLarens in their fuel tank. But anyways, I was like, I dropped the ball. I wasn't even fuel saving a drop, and as soon as that happened, I was like, well, I'm racing for second place now. So
Yeah, we saw your teammate Dan come in and try to do a little bit of an undercut. Got him ahead of Ricky and broke that draft train up a little bit, but not quite enough. You said the McLaren tank being bigger. Is it really the bigger tank, or is it more that I always notice the McLaren, like when you try to fuel safe, sometimes it will actually go faster. Like,
yeah, it might be one of those, magical cars. Maybe not as much engine braking or something. I'm not sure. I've actually never driven it.
really,
So I need to, I need to test that one out and see what's going on with it. But yeah,
it's a very nice car. It's generally been my go-to because it doesn't really have any major flaws. It's one of those, and the force feedback I get from it's nice.
Mhm.
If you drive it on a P1 dock set, I can hop in and just like really quickly go, okay, I got this.
It's got a nice windscreen too.
Oh yeah. Oh, you
Nice
can see
view.
wonderfully. But like I tried that with the Mustang. Nope, I'm gonna be looping it for 10 minutes until I get used to it again. McLaren, I can hop in and go fast. Ferrari is
Yeah.
almost that way for me, but
Yeah, we just came from the Mustang to the Ferrari a couple months ago, and then curveball, we're actually about to race the Corvette in our big league coming up this fall. We're gonna run the Corvette in that, so that'll be a fun change.
yeah, I've been hearing little rumors that the Corvette's picked up some speed here quietly from somewhere. I haven't seen it in the pace notes, but it seems like it's
Yeah.
making its way back up there.
Yeah, iRacing is doing a good job lately, at least, with outside the fixed setup races, like the BOP in general, it has been
Lambo
probably
Daytona.
better. Yeah, I mean you'll have that occasionally, but like from track to track, week to week, like it's been pretty solid. I'm happy with it.
Well, congratulations. Anybody want to give a shout out to on that 100 machine before we let you go celebrate?
Just the fantastic guys at 100 Force. A lot of cool things coming soon, and I'll have more to shout out here shortly. Hopefully in a few weeks.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to it and hopefully catch you again next week.
Absolutely, guys. Thank you.
That was Nicholas Menard in second. Did not get a chance to get Connor Wagner in here tonight, but from everyone here at Core, we appreciate it. Remember to keep the shiny side up and the rubber side down, and we will catch you next week.
Engines roar, the lights go green. Metal beasts on gasoline. Pedal down, no turning back. Feel the thunder on the track. Chrome and steel, the battle calls. Through the smoke, we stand tall. Rivals crushed, we leave in dust. Speed is our only trust. You think you're fast, you think you're tough, but on this track it sucks to suck. Born to race, born to fight.